students. Yesterday we have discussed the important topics regarding to the chapter wave optics, and there we have discussed what is the Huygens principle, what is wave picture of the electromagnetic waves, and also some of the topics regarding to interference we have discussed already. But still, before discussion of interference, let's see that how can we explain the laws of reflection and refraction with the help of wave optics or wave picture of the light. Then obviously if light is possessing the phenomena of reflection and refraction, then that should be also explained by the help of wave concept. So with the help of Huygens principle we can even discuss, we can prove that what is the law of reflection and refraction. So for the first of all, let's discuss about the what is law of reflection and how can we prove it. So obviously you know that law of reflection is whenever light is incident on any plane surface and the other surfaces that is polished, then after incidence of the plane surface the light gets just reflected, or its path is just changed in another direction, and there is also phase change that is takes place between two waves. Means the direction of light that is changing. If this is the plane surface, this is polished from the other end, and if we are just there is incidence of light on this surface is taking place, then after incidence incidenting on this, then this surface just scatter these lights in this way, means the light gets reflected from this surface, the change in direction takes place here. In simple way you can say that in the case of reflection, change in direction takes place and the angle of at which the change in direction takes place, that is always equal to the angle of incidence to the same normal that we are taking here. So this is the concept of the reflection, and also I is equal to R. This is the law of reflection, means angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. So let's see that whether this is correct. This picture is with the help of ray diagram. So with the help of ray diagram, or when we are taking the light as a ray, then we can prove and we can understand laws of reflection and refraction, and you have already understood that. So later we will discuss it also, but still here we are taking the wave picture. So for wave picture we know that we have to use here Huygens principle, because Huygens has given a theory for the wave picture of the electromagnetic radiation, and that is whenever light is traveling in all directions, then all the points that are in the same phase or at this light is just reaches at the in the same time, then you will, if you will see the locus of that, then that is creating a wave front, and all the points on that wave fronts are again acting as the fresh source. They are called secondary wavelets, means secondary wavelets again send disturbances in all directions, and due to that again you can see all points that are in same phase due to that secondary wavelets that are again that will create a secondary wave front. So in this way, in forms of wave fronts and wavelets, continuously light travels in the medium. So light, the progressive nature of light we can understand very easily with the concept of wave picture of the light. So here for the reflection, first of all here we have taken a surface here that is polished from the other end, and now suppose that here one normal that we are taking. So this normal was denoted by AN. Now light is incident or waves are incident on this from any source. This is incident on it at some angle I here. So number of rays that are incidenting here, and after incidence of light on this surface, then obviously they here if you can see that suppose from here, see at the same distance or at the same time that the light wave are reaching to here, you can draw a wave front here. So that wave front will known as the incident wave front. If you draw for the incidence of the radiation that is falling on it, means the point of the incident wave that are in the same phase, if you connect the locus of them, then that will be good incidence light. And again, if this is just incidence on the this surface, then by the phenomena of reflection these lights will reflect, or there is the change in direction that will take place from here. So if change in direction or is taken place from here, then definitely the points that are just diverging in this way. Then again at the same time you can draw the wavefront for this reflected wave also, because from here these points again that will act as the new source and they will send disturbances in all direction, and at the same time or the waves or the points that are in the same phase, if you draw the locus of them, then that will give you the reflected wavefront. So here in this case we will get a reflected wavefront and a reflected wavefront and a incident wavefront. So this is the concept of first of all Huygens principle. So with the help of that we can understand here also the incidence wavefront and reflected wavefront that are forming in the system, because here from source if light is traveling here, then the all points that are in same phase in this incident wave, their locus will form a incidence wavefront, and the point that are just reflecting here, and if you see the all points that are in the same phase, means at that point when all the waves reach it in the single time there, so if you draw the locus of them, then that will provide you reflected wavefront. So first the phenomena of reflection is explained from here with the help of wave concept. The second fact, let's prove the law of reflection with the help of this wave picture, wave diagram. So for that, suppose this is a point, that are in the plane phase here, and here we are getting some AF, and let's draw a normal for this. So if you can draw the normals here, and this normal or also just take this AD as the radius and draw a arc here. So if you draw the arc here, then this arc will provide us the reflected wavefront. So here we are seeing that this is the reflected wavefront that we have drawn, and all these points that will be always in the same phase. So if you just draw back it into the this point, then after draw we can draw a normal here. So this is 90-degree angle that we have got from here, and in the same way you can draw here also on this point normal. So this will be also 90-degree. So here the geometry that we have obtained with the help of the concept of reflected wavefront. So reflected wavefront can be drawn by taking this point. Suppose that these are the points that are in the same phase, and we have taken the distance of these points, and with the help of that distance, if you take that as the radius and draw an arc on that, and that arc will represent the reflected wavefront here. And let's meet this point of reflected wavefront to this point on the surface, then this here already this will be the perpendicular, because you know that if you draw a tangent on any arc, then that tangent makes the perpendicular or 90-degree angle with this radius vector, always clear. So there is the always 90-degree angle between tangent and radius vector, so I think there is no confusion in that section. So let's denote this point by some G, this denote this point by some, this is B, this is some F, and again let's denote it by some C. This is also a point, you can denote it by some M, clear? And also this is the incidence angle, so obviously you can denote it by I, and also this will be also equal to incident angle I here. This is incident angle R, and this will be also equal to incident angle R. So this is the incident wavefront that we have got, this is the reflected wavefront that we have got here by this geometry. So I think geometry of incidence and reflected, that is clear. Geometry is very simple, only we have to take the all points that are in same phase, and now take the distance of one point from here, and taking radius, draw an arc on these lines, and with the help of that we can draw easily what is the reflected wavefront. And if you can meet this the tangent of this arc from this point, then this will give us reflected wavefront. So BD here is the reflected wavefront, and in the same way you can see, suppose if waves are traveling from this direction and they are reflected in this direction, this condition can also be possible here. In that sense, if we suppose these points are in the same phase, then take this as the radius here and draw an arc here, and again let's meet the tangent of here into this point, then this will act as the reflected wavefront if we are taking it as the incident wavefront. So in this way, this is, if we here we are taking that light is incident in this direction, this is reflected in this direction. So this is the AC is the incident wavefront and BD is the reflected wavefront that we have got here. So this is, let's denote by some S. Clear? Now let's see the geometry of here, and with the help of that geometry we can understand all the concepts. So by simplification, let's draw only some of the things from this figure. So suppose this is A, this is C point. And only actually we have to take the same single secondary wave. Let's take it. This is M2. Suppose this is S test. M2 goes S test and S test to C. So let's see this one. Because for this one we have to take this point. So don't take that. This is M and this is C. This is S test. So this is the figure that we have got from here. This is an incident wave and this is the reflected part of this, and this we have taken from this geometry. And with the help of that we can prove easily what is the law of reflection here. So here this angle is equal to I that we have. This is also a perpendicular angle and this is also perpendicular angle. This is equal to R we have. Now let's use the trigonometrical terms here, and with the help of that you can prove it. So what is the value of sine I here? Sine I is equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So here what is the perpendicular? So don't have to be confused with the figure. The perpendicular is nothing but this is the perpendicular because this angle is here. So this is equal to M into S dash, and upon this is the hypotenuse. This is equal to AS dash. And in the same way you can see what is the value of sine R here. Sine R is again this perpendicular. So this is equal to GS dash upon this is B. So B S dash. So this is the things that we have got here. Now let's see in triangle. Let's see that we have denoted by Z. This is M. Okay. So in triangle AM and S dash, let's see it. So in the case of triangle AM S dash, we can see what is the value of or sine R. Actually you don't have to. Let's see them. Only directly let's see what is the time taken by the wave to reach from here to there. As this is the incident light and this is the reflected wave, then obviously light will take some time to travel in this system. So the time that will be given here, that should be equal to T is equal to distance traveled by it upon the velocity of light. So distance is traveled here, that is equal to ms dash plus s dash g. So m s dash plus s dash g upon c you can write here. So this is the time taken to for the incidence, this is the time taken to reflect back from here. So now let's put the value of ms dash and also the value of sg s dash g from here, and you can use it. So the value of time that we will get finally, the value of ms dash from here, that is equal to as dash sin I by c, plus from g dash the value of from here, that is equal to p s dash sin r by c. So this is the time that we have got here from the geometry. So I think first of all the geometry that we have explained with the help of wave picture, that is clear. How can we draw incident wavefront and refracted wavefront? After that we have used one of the incident wave or from the wavefront and one of the reflected wave from the wavefront to understand the law of reflection here. And again here in this value, as we have already AB, that is equal to AS dash, from figure you can see it already, BS dash. So in place of suppose in place of AS dash or BS dash, in anywhere you can use this value. So suppose we are taking the value of BS dash from here, so this will be equal to AB minus AS dash. Let's put the value here. So we will get time, that value is AS dash sin I upon C plus AB minus AS dash sin R divided by C here. Now let's solve it again. After solving, you can take the common as this factor. So AS dash, if you will take the common this factor, or first of all let's put this value here. So this is equal to AB sin R by C plus sin I minus of sin R AS dash by C. So this is the time that we have got in terms of incident angle and reflected angle. So here one complication that we have, that is, we know that from the Huygens principle, all the points that are reaching in the space that are at the same time, but if you can see the value of AS dash, that is not fixed. The value AS dash, that can be different for the different wave, as here if this is S dash that we have taken, this is A, this is B, and this is the point where incident wavefront we have got, this is the point where reflected wavefront we have got. So this is the fixed point, but the distance between these 2 points, that is fixed always for any incident wavefront or reflected wavefront, but still this point is not fixed. Light can be incident from this wavefront, and it means the value of AS dash, that will change, and in that case obviously the time will change. But we know that whenever light is reaching to incident wavefront or reflected wavefront, so for all light waves the time will be same, otherwise their phase will be different. The concept of wavefront, that will change automatically, so we cannot draw that time this is as the wavefront. So that's why we are to keep the time constant, this factor should be 0 here. Otherwise if this factor is not 0, then definitely it can change the time of the incident or the time of the reflected wave, and in that case this will not be the wavefront that we have drawn. So geometrically this is the wavefront, that is correct. So that's why in the time factor, this constant quantity, this should be 0 here, and in that case means this product, actually this should be 0, and this is always constant. R is constant, we are seeing that C is constant, and AB is fixed for the all of the waves, means AB should be AB will always be same. So this will not change the time for any of the wave that is incidenting or that is reflecting from the surface. So that's why for time factor should to be constant, we need to keep this factor as the 0. So sin I minus sin R, that should be 0 to maintain the concept of the wavefront, because we are using the wave picture of the light beams here, then definitely it should follow all the characteristics of the wave, otherwise the concept will be wrong that we have taken. So here you can take sin I is equal to sin R, or mi is equal to R. So here we have seen that this is angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection, that we have got finally with the help of the concept of wavefront and with the help of Huygens principle. So I think guys this is understood by you. This is very important concept. How can we explain the law of reflection with the help of wave picture or Huygens principle? Because if Huygens is taking the wave diagram of light, then and we have understood these topics with the help of ray diagram, means we are taking their light as the ray, but here we are taking light as the wave. So some of the factors that will change here. So with changing in that factor, then whether this the laws that will be acceptable or not there. So we can prove it, we can explain it by simply by the Huygens principle. So first of all, you need to understand the geometry that we have created for this, because the wavefront is the, if you can see, that is also a geometry that we have created for the concept of wavefront, because wavefront is nothing but it is locus of all the particles that are in the same phase. So you need to first of all understand the geometry that we have just explained here. So if the concept of law of reflection that is clear, then let's see now how can we prove law of refraction from the Huygens principle. So for again law of refraction, I think the geometry that we have used for the incident wavefront and reflected wavefront, that is clear. If that geometry is clear, then you can understand easily what is the law of refraction, how can we explain it. So first of all, law of refraction, you know that if any plane surface that is not polished, then light gets transmitted from that surface. Means if this is the surface we have, then if light is incident at some angle, then light only, there is not only the change in direction but also change in here. So this is a change in medium that is also take place if the surface is not polished. In the first case, medium was not changing, light was changing its direction in the same medium, but here light is changing its direction in another medium. So this is known as the transmission of light or also refraction of light wave. Now how can, this is the ray diagram, picture of ray diagram, and here if you can see the law of refraction, then this is Snell's law, sin I upon sin R, that is equal to refractive index of the medium. So with the help of that you can we can prove it also with the help of wave picture or with the help of Huygens principle. Let's see that. First of all, try to understand the geometry that we will use. After using that geometry, we will prove it easily. So now let's see what is the geometry for the understanding of the refraction of light wave. So here, first of all, let's see, this is normal that we have drawn on this surface, and this surface is not polished. Now incident waves that are incidenting here, and if you can see all points that are in the same phase, then you can draw a locus of them. This locus will be called incident wavefront. Clear? And now obviously if surface is not polished, then definitely these waves will get refraction or transmission from here, and there will be also change in direction that will take place for them. Clear? And suppose that this is medium 1, this in this medium the light we have, obviously you know that if light enters in different medium, its velocity is changing, and if the velocity is changing, then let us suppose that in this medium velocity is v1 and its refractive index of this medium is mu1. Similarly, in this medium, this refractive index is mu2 and the velocity of light becomes v2 here. So whenever any interface that is dividing two media and light is incident on the one medium, then it gets transmitted to the another medium. There is always change in velocity that takes place, that is depending on the refractive index of that medium. So if this wave is just refracting here, this is incident. Now how can we draw the refracted wavefront here? So again we have to do the same thing. Let's see all the points that are in the same phase, and let's take this distance as the radius, and let's draw an arc here. So if you draw the arc here, then let's draw the tangent to this point. Then let's meet this point here. Again, after drawing a tangent here, let's meet this point. So now let's this point is this diagram is known as refracted wavefront. So here we have got two things. One is incident wavefront and second is reflected wavefront. So in this case, if you denote these points, again this is suppose A, this is B, this is some E, this is some F, this is C, suppose that this is G dash, this is F dash, this, now these all points we have. And now also, if light is incident here, then this will be the, if this is incident wavefront, then angle that is making incident wavefront from the plane of the this interface, then that is equal to incident angle. Obviously you know that this is the concept of incident wavefront, and this is this angle that the refracted wavefront makes with the plane of this face, that is refracted wavefront. So two things that we have got here. Now let's again, I think the geometry that is clear. First of all, in this geometry what we have done, that is the light is incident on this interface, and after that obviously there will be refraction process that will take place from here, and you can draw the by using these points that are in the same phase, and let's see draw the arc using this as the radius, and not make just use its tangent to meet here, and these all points that will be in the same phase, and with the help of that if you draw the locus of it, then this will called the refracted wavefront. And in the same way you can see that if suppose light is incident from here and it is refracted in this direction, then these all points you can draw also arc by using here, and let's meet the tangent from this point, then this will be also the refracted wavefront. So here in the same sense you can draw incident wavefront and refracted wavefront. I think there is no confusion. Now let's see its geometry. So only again we will use this wavefront for our calculations here. So for that let's just use it. So this is point A, this is point E. This wave is being here again. Here we have taken a point B in the system, and as here this is the tangent, and this will be angle 90 degree that we will get in the system. So this is equal to R. Suppose this is point B, this is angle again 90 degree. As this is the direction of tangent here, this is R, this is I, this is point F we have got. So don't have to be confused, this is point F dash, this is point B. So from here we have just resolved this components here, so that you can understand very easily how can we understand the law of refraction from this calculation, from this discussion. Now let's see what is the value of sin I from here. So the value of sin I from this triangle, we can write it, the value of sin I, that is equal to, as this is perpendicular direction, so perpendicular upon hypotenuse, again use it. So this is equal to EF upon AF. And again in this triangle, what is it, the value of sin R? The value of sin R equal to again perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So what is the value of perpendicular? That is BF dash. This is upon BF. Actually FF dash. This would be FF dash upon BF. Clear? Now again we have to do actually in the same manner that we have proved the law of reflection. Let's see what is the time time taken by the light to incident on this surface to refract from this surface. So here the incidence, that is incident wavefront, that is refracted wavefront. So time taken here, that is, or distance travelled by it for the incidence, that is equal to EF, and distance travelled for the refraction, that is FF dash. So what if you divide whole of the distance by C, then we will get total time taken by the light. So time taken by the light on the when it is incident, so EF divided by the velocity of light in that, and here we have two media. Here the velocity is v1, here velocity is v2. So here the time taken by it, that is EF upon v1, distance travelled by it upon velocity, and also distance travelled in this medium upon velocity. Their velocity is v2. Now put the value of EF and FF dash from here in this equation. So time that will be equal to the value of EF, that is equal to AF sin I on V1 plus FF dash, that is equal to BF sin R this upon V2. Now again with the geometry we can use that what is the value of BF, that is equal to AB minus AF. So in place of BF we can also use AB minus AF sin R, and also let's take all the values of AF at one place and AB at one place. So this will obtain AB sin R upon V2 plus sin R by V1 minus sin R by V2. This is AF. So again we know that from the Huygens principle, all the points that are incidenting and that are refracting, that, and if we are taking all the waves that are incident from this wavefront and refracted from this wavefront, that will also reach there in the same time. Means if this is we are taken as the source, obviously this will act as the source, and all points that are generating from here, that should reach here at the same time. But still, if this value of AF will change, then definitely to reach there it will take different times. So in this case the concept of Huygens principle, that will be again wrong. So to make it right, this factor should be all again 0. So if this factor we will put, that is equal to 0, then what we will get finally, we will get this is equal to 0, or sin I upon V1, that should be equal to sin R upon V2, or we can write sin I by sin R. This is equal to V1 by V2, and we know that V1 by V2, this is equal to mu2 by V1. So this is the Snell's law, this is law of refraction that we know already, and we can prove it easily by using wave concept, by using Huygens principle. So today we have proved the laws of refraction and reflection by using Huygens principle. It means that wave picture can explain reflection and refraction in good aspects. We can use it and we can understand even its laws. So in next class we will discuss the interference and diffraction and the experiments based on that. We will discuss all these things. So I think today this is clear to you. This is very important topics. First of all, we have discovered reflection and refraction. So how can we prove it? That is the important factor. So I think all the things that we have discussed, that is understood by you. So let's end it here. In next class we will discuss interference. Thank you.